you can see it's a screw cap, and you can't see much else other than that. Nice sort of neutral black capsule, but really darkly colored wine. Certainly translucent, if not opaque. There's a touch of purple left on the rim, but it shows some maturing character with a kind of purplish pink red rim, but still darkly colored. Must be darkly colored grape, and relatively young to developing wine. In terms of color in the legs, there's definitely color in the legs on this thing. So, you know, this looks pretty extracted. To say somebody's played around with the extraction on this thing. In terms of the nose, nothing wrong with it. American oak, kind of coconutty, dillish, sawdusty character right from the outset. A little hot from the outset, a little over extracted. In other words, I get a kind of pruny note allied with dill. I mean, already I'm already jumping to conclusions, which is very dangerous to do, but you can't help it. You know, the brain just likes to tell you what you think you're doing. But nonetheless, I get a rubbery reduced note. I get a lot of spicy, young, sawdusty oak, probably American oak. I get a lot of intensity. I get some issues with the preservation of the fruit. I'm gonna put it that way. You know, it's not that the fruit is bad, it's just that somebody didn't work real hard to preserve it. They worked harder to extract from it, and sometimes to me that's the wrong direction to go with fruit like this. Flowers, can't speak much of it. Nose, blackberry, black currant, black cherry. Some dried herbs, but not much to speak of. Some fresh herbs, not much to speak of. No vegetables to speak of, even though I do get a little bit of a dill note, but I think that's all oak derived, sawdusty more than dill. And in terms of earth, more potting soil, clay pot. And nothing to argue the issue that there's a big dose of new oak here, and a good chunk of that is American oak. On to the mouth. Good chunk of clove in the nose too, so plenty of new oak. Mouth is gentler than the nose, than I expected from the nose. Black cherry jam, blackberry, cassis even. Blackberry jam, touch of sweetness, very ripe, medium weight, tannins are medium. So as I was doing the, what do I have here, California or Australia, I'm actually moving closer to Australia now with all that plump fruit. And the tannins all seem to be derived from barrel. I'm not really, it's really kind of a fluffy tannin character, not a super bitter astringent. Another reason why I think I'm probably in Australia. But I'm jumping to conclusions, like I admitted from the outset, okay? I have got blackberry, black cherry. I've got dried herbs, not much. Some vegetables, nothing to speak of. The spices are consistent with plenty of American oak. A dose of that to 50% of that is new, but there's some used. It finishes very much with kind of a sawdusty American oak character. There is a little touch of black pepper at the tail end. So the struggle I'm having right now is this Aussie Shiraz or Aussie Cab, moving towards the Shiraz world of things. I don't get enough cedar to speak of Cabernet. One more taste. Alcohol, low 14s, acid, medium minus, tannin, medium plus because of all the oak, finish, medium minus, fairly short. It's perfectly nice. It's a little over extracted for me, but less so than I had thought from the nose. And so maybe just as it matures, some of that character that slightly pruny character is starting to stick out a little bit. All that sawdust is definitely sticking out, and this is a wine to drink up, even though I think it's perfectly nice now. Especially for people who like a wine with a lot more, dusty bitterness to it, that tannic character. I don't mind it, and I usually complain about tannic wine, so I think it's within balance. It's just moving the other direction. 07, let's say, since I think it's Aussie, and I'm going to stick with Shiraz, although I've got questions about that. But it's definitely a warm region. I don't know that it's Barossa. I'm going to go more McLaren. So something almost Barossa weight and alcohol. I used some aluminum oil. Shiraz, here we go. No, it is indeed Barossa. This is Layer Cake. Shiraz 2006, so a little off there, and it is Barossa, and well, I think it's aging okay. I'd say drink up, but I've had some more problematic wines from Layer Cake of late than this wine. I'm okay with this wine.